Janet Rudolph started an organization devoted to murder, entertaining murder. Janet Rudolph of Berkeley, California, is the founder of Mystery Readers International, the largest organization for mystery fans and readers in the world. Janet talks about MRI and our fascination with mysteries, especially cat mysteries, on today's Dead End Job Show. Today we're talking with Janet Rudolph of Berkeley, California, founder of Mystery Readers International, the world's largest organization for mystery fans and readers. I'm Elaine Vietz, and you're listening to the Dead End Job Show. Janet, tell us about Mystery Lovers International, MRI for short. What is it, where is it, and who can join?
Well, Mystery Readers International is for everybody, so anyone could join. It's an international organization. The most important part, of course, is our journal, the Mystery Readers Journal, and we are in our 30th year of publication. We're quarterly, and each issue is devoted to a different theme. So with membership in MRI, you get the Mystery Readers Journal, which is a review periodical, usually about 90 pages. And so if you're interested in cat mysteries or art mysteries, you might want to get individual copies, or you might want to just join MRI and get the 4 issues that are being published that year.
Now, why did you, there are a lot of organizations for mystery readers, so why did you start another one?
Well, this is for readers, and there weren't that many organizations for readers years ago, and Mystery Readers Journal was a fanzine. That was a term used then. It was, put out on the Xerox machine, and we didn't have internet. And so it was an organization to get readers together, not necessarily in real time, but through the mail or through other ways or at different mystery conventions. So it was just a way of sharing books and titles and a common interest.
Now, you talked about your Mystery Readers Journal, which comes out 4 times a year, and the issues are about mysteries with themes. You've done medical mysteries and environmental mysteries, and everything in the journal is related to that particular subject. Tell us about your current and upcoming issues.
Oh, good question. The last issue, or the issue that just came out, was on Canadian mysteries. Canadian mysteries are sometimes overlooked. A lot of people buy UK and, of course, international mysteries, but it's a terrific issue because I should say that there's one particular, since it's a review periodical, there's one section called Author, where authors write about why they set their books where they do or why they write about a theme. So it's almost like having a convention where you're listening to writers, although you're reading what they have to say, not just about their own books, but about their own lives. So it's kind of fun. So the Canadian issue is the latest issue. We will have another issue this year in Scandinavian mysteries. We had one about, I want to say 9 years ago on Scandinavian mysteries, before Scandinavian mysteries became as popular as they are now. Or I think that's only by translation. I think they were popular in Scandinavia and in Sweden and Finland and Norway, but now we have them in translation. So those are 2 of the themes. We also have biblio mysteries coming up this year. Everyone likes a good book mystery. A lot of cats in book mysteries.
Now, Canadian mysteries, Scandinavian mysteries, for the most part, are incredibly gloomy. I don't know if it's because they have winter 10 months of the year or what. Do Canadian mysteries, that's another big cold country, do they follow in that tradition? Are they very gloomy?
Not all of them, but yes, many. No, not gloomy. No, not gloomy. Cold.
Cold, okay.
Cold, but not gloomy. I think it's a different kind of thing. The very next issue is about extreme weather. So I have a lot of the Canadians writing another article for that.
Now, Mystery Readers International has an award, and the members vote each year to nominate and select the winners. And it's called the McCavity Award, which is named for the mystery cat of T.S. Eliot in Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats. So what's this award about, and why a McCavity?
I chose the McCavity because McCavity was a curious cat. And I think that's what mysteries are about. We're curious about different cultures, different lives, certainly murder, and solving the murder. So I took McCavity for that. The award is given in 5 categories: best novel, best first novel, biographical, critical, and short story. And then we have the Sue Fader Memorial Historical Mystery Award. And we've been giving out the McCavity for about 30 years or so. We usually give it out at BoucherCon, the World Mystery Convention. And the McCavities are nominated on and voted on by readers. Readers, writers, and fans. I mean, writers are also readers. So we don't, we're not selective that way. And I did the and I give out and there's a McCavity, there's a cat, the McCavity cat, on the crystal. Well, now it's crystal. Before it was something else. It used to be different cats. But then I'm a cat person, so not a big surprise.
Now, while we're on the subject of cats, my editor insisted that I write a cat mystery for my latest dead-end job mystery, and I didn't want to do it because I thought too many cat mysteries were just silly. But she is the editor, and she insisted, and so I wrote Catnapped, which is set in the world of show cats. So, I mean, I know she's the editor, and the editor is always right, but what is it about cat mysteries?
Well, I love cats. I'm a cat and dog person. I definitely don't discriminate between the two. I have 2 dogs and 2 cats. But there is something about cats, like the collective term for cats is a clouder of cats.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird word. But I think there's something about having animals in books, and cats in particular. First of all, they're independent. They're weird. They have their own little personalities, their own ways. You never really know what they're thinking. Although if in a book, in a mystery, if it's a talking cat or something, you know what they're thinking. But I think there's something about cats. They help by putting an animal in a book or putting a cat in a book. They help to explore and explain different aspects of the human character's personality. For instance, how people react to the cat. That's one way. They can also mirror the emotions and experiences that the characters are going through in a book. They add comic relief. My big thing is whenever my cats do something weird, it's cheap amusement. And it is. It's fun to watch cats. So having, there's something about cats. They remind us, that animals bring joy to our lives. So there's just a few things about cats.
Well, cats are also the perfect pet for mystery writers because they look cute and cuddly, but they're killers. I mean,
they are killers.
At heart, they were designed by nature to kill little things. And so to me, I identify with them, but I keep that part quiet and I kind of concentrate on the cute and cuddly part.
But, it's also good to have them you can have them in a book and you don't really have to take care of them all that much.
Well, that's true. I have 2 cats, and they are great excuses not to write. I can always play with the cats. Now, are cat mystery readers mostly women?
I'd like to say yes, but maybe if you search out a book just on cat mysteries, probably yes. But there are a lot of male writers who have cats in their books. Actually, I'm thinking of a male writer. They're not necessarily in his books that I recall because they're historical mysteries. But the first time I met him, he took out his phone. He said, "Oh, do you want to see my cats?" I mean, this is a burly guy. I'm thinking, okay, I'll look at your cats. And he got all mushy about his cats. So, I think that cats are shared by men and women. Miranda James is actually Dean James, and he has cat mysteries.
And cats.
And cats, yes, he does. But the cats on his covers are not the cat in the book. They're the wrong cat.
Okay.
I don't know if you know that. His cats are, well, I don't know if his personal cats, but his cat on the cover is not a Maine Coon on the cover. And he has in the book, it's a Maine Coon cat. I always wonder who did these covers. I mean, they're cute covers. They're nice. And if I were looking for a cat mystery, I'd pick them up. I don't know. Have I answered that question, kind of?
Well, the cat on the cover of Catnapped, which is my book, is my cat. And
Oh, really?
yeah, I sent the photos to the artist for my series is in Japan. So I emailed the photos of my cat to the artist, and she drew. My cat's name is Mystery, and that was her name before I adopted her. She came with that name, so she had to be my cat. But anyway, the Japanese artist drew Mystery, and that's her on the cover. And if you want to see her photo, the author photo on the back flap is a very ticked off Mystery because she didn't want her picture taken.
Oh, how cool. So unlike my cats. On Facebook, I have pictures of Barclay, my big cat, who's a ragdoll cat,
Mm-hmm.
and he's 23 pounds, and he's always pushing against the computer and he's on my desk and pushes. It's not like a small cat in your way, crossing the keyboard. This is 23 pounds. Everything is erased when he walks by.
No, I don't have a cat who walks on the keyboard, thank goodness. And besides, he's 7 pounds, so I can toss him if I have to. Now, mysteries come in a lot of varieties. There's hard-boiled, which have a lot of blood, and then there's thrillers, which tend to be action-oriented. And then we've got cozies, which are mysteries without violence, mysteries written in the style of Agatha Christie. Is that pretty much how you would characterize mysteries?
Yeah, I think so. And then, thrillers. Maybe I'd add thrillers in there as so different. Not necessarily hard-boiled, but thrillers. Yeah, and I think there are more cozy cats, cozy crime with cats than any of the others.
Well, that was I was going to ask you, is our cat mysteries mostly cozy? So,
I'm sorry, I was just going to say, I think most of them are, and some of them have an edge to them. Some of the fun books, I don't know if I'd call it an edge, but a little bit noir. Things like Carol Nelson Douglas's books,
mm-hmm.
Midnight Louie. He's a tough cat. I don't know if I'd call them cozy. They're a little harder and a little more hard edge because he's in Las Vegas and he's on the streets. But they have a lot of romantic suspense in them, so they're a little different too. They're kind of in their own category, but they're fun. But then when you think of someone like Lillian Jackson Braun, and she comes to mind more than any of the others for me because she has that whole series of Cat Who books. And we see everything, though, through the eyes of Quillerin, who's the, quote, detective, rather than Coco and Yum Yum, the Siamese cats. And we will have to talk about breeds. Certain breeds are kind of part of it.
Okay.
I don't know if I've answered your question.
Well, now, is it true that you can kill all the people you want in a mystery, but you cannot kill a cat or a dog?
Absolutely. Nobody wants. I mean, that's the sin. We don't really care as much about people. That's a terrible thing to say. But there's something very different about it. I don't know. It is a rule. It's a rule. And I won't read a book where an animal is killed, particularly if it's gratuitous. If it's really intrinsic to the plot, I'll skip over it. But otherwise, yeah. I don't really care for children being killed either. I mean, that's another issue. But, other people, we find out who did it. We find out the motivations and why and everything about the person. And maybe it was a bad person who was killed. Maybe we don't really care, although we should care. Otherwise, it's not a good mystery. But never an animal.
Well, I keep wondering what this says about us, that we can not only kill people, but in some very popular mysteries, we skin them alive, but you cannot harm a hair on a cat's head or a dog's.
Because animals can't fight back, at least cats and dogs can't. And they didn't probably do anything wrong, ever. I know, it doesn't say a lot for us. But we do like to have mysteries where we can solve it, where we can feel better at the end, that there's the conclusion has happened, that justice prevails. There is no justice for personally for me. when someone hurts an animal.
I suppose first of all, you have to suspend disbelief when you read a mystery, particularly a mystery with with a detective who's not a police officer or a private eye. The fact that a little old lady in England solves mysteries that the police can't, which is the whole premise of Agatha Christie for 39 books, is a little hard to believe, but readers do. She's still in print. She's published millions and millions of copies. But there's a convention in there, I think, a sort of in the suspended disbelief that somehow the people can take care of themselves and the animals can't. That you have a victim, and whether it's the victim's, quote, fault or not, they're a human and they got into this situation. And you cannot visit mayhem on an innocent animal. Is that how you see that?
Oh, I do. I think you put that so well. Absolutely.
Now, people who don't read mysteries are really puzzled by their popularity. And I had a man who asked me, "Do you go out of your way to think of ways to kill people so that you can scare your readers?" And I was kind of stunned by that. And how would you answer that question?
Well, I don't know if I would quite answer that question that way, but my own sister doesn't read mysteries. I find this very hard to believe. But every once in a while she'll call and she'll say, "Oh, I just read the best book, and it's a mystery." I mean, I want to kill her. Literally. If it's not a certain kind of book, she won't pick it up. And I think she's in the minority because I think their mysteries are so popular. They cross so many different socioeconomic groups. And I think we read them for various reasons, including reading them to learn about things. But also, as I said before, we read them to see justice. For me, they're nicely, not all of them, of course, but many of them are wrapped up nicely at the end and justice is served. And I always like to see that. Possibly the books I'm reading now, that doesn't happen. They're too dark. And, the serial killer will be in another book as the star, also in a television series.
What are some of the things that you've learned by reading mysteries?
One thing is I've learned about conditioner and good hair products from you.
Okay.
What was the title of that book?
That was Killer Cuts.
Killer Cuts, right? I know nothing about hair, and now I do. What I've learned, there's several things. One is, number one, I read books that are set in other countries. So I travel that way. I don't travel as much as I used to. When I used to travel, I used to take books set in the country, like Ruth Rendell's Wexford. One of the Wexford books is set in China. So when I went to China, I read that. When I went to India, I took books set in India. But if I'm not going to those countries, the Martin Walkers set in France are so fascinating. They eat, they drink. It's just wonderful. So I won't be in France for a while, hopefully in the future. But that's one of the reasons. So I read mysteries to travel. I also read mysteries to learn about history, historical mysteries. I read adventure books and thrillers just for that, excitement, just for good writing. But a lot of times I'll read an art mystery. I'm very interested in the Holocaust. I've taught the Holocaust. And I will read books set in World War II that deal with the theft of all those incredible artworks and whether or not they've been returned or not. It's a great springing place. It's a great place to jump and learn about that kind of thing as well. I'm sorry, I'm going on.
No, this is exactly what fascinates me. I mean, first of all, you can sit home with a book and let your mind wander, but it's a great way to learn about a culture, learn about people, or as you said, learn about the lost art during World War II without having to read a lot of really dull academic articles. It's an entertaining way to learn things, and that's one of the reasons I like mysteries. Who are some of your favorite mystery writers?
Oh my God, I should have known that was a question. Reginald Hill certainly comes to mind. I love your books. I do. I mean, I know.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're not paying me.
No, you're not. No, I'm not.
No, I do. I love the Dead End Job series. And I like the Shopper series, too, but the Dead End and Job series are great because they're so diverse and there are so many different careers that she takes in order, well, now both of them take, in order to, get by in the beginning, and now as an official, quote, detective. I like, let's see, P.D. James, of course. I do still read Agatha Christie, and I still love Dorothy L. Sayers. I read Peter Robinson. I read a lot of the Brits.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think whom I read. Oh, I read a lot of the dark Scandinavians as well. I'm having David Downing here this week. I like David Downing's books. He has a new series coming out. Those are espionage thrillers, so to speak. I'm not sure I would call them that, but that's the way they're being billed. I'm a kind of a eclectic reader. So I read pretty much everybody. I read my friends. That's important.
And you have a lot of friends
in
the mystery community.
On Facebook, I have a lot of friends. I like to read, I love Deb Crombie. She sets her books in England, but, I'm thinking of books that I'll pick up and they'll go into my pile, a different kind of pile. I mean, I just read Peter Mayle. I don't usually consider him a mystery writer. I know he's a caper writer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's really a, writer, quote. But he has a book called The Corsican Capers, and it was just what I needed the other day. I went to Corsica, I went to the Mediterranean, I was spending more time in Marseille, but that was okay. We ate, we drank, we had a good time in that book. So,
there's no calories in reading either.
Oh, yes. Oh, and you don't get drunk. I love it.
No hangover either.
Exactly. So I read lots of different types of books. I usually read the books that are on the awards. I want to see if they're going to hold up. A Norwegian by Night by Derek Miller just won the CWA Dagger for Best. I think, or is it Best or Best in Translation? Whatever. No, Best. It was Best. And
CWA is the Crime Writers Association, right?
Right, in England. Sorry.
Okay.
No, he actually he won 2 awards, but one of them was the Last Laugh Award. It is not a funny book. It is a dark book. I don't understand that one. But it won Crime Fest Last Laugh. It's a wonderful book, and it's set in Norway. Yes, in Norway, in Oslo. About an old, well, that's relative, an older man from New York who goes to Oslo, and his granddaughter, who he raised, has moved there, has married someone and moved there. So he's an outsider in another culture, the Norwegian culture. And
hello?
She dropped off, Elaine.
Rats.
Okay. Let's try to call her back. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
hi.
Where would you like to pick it up?
Okay.
We've only we've got 3 minutes left?
Got 3 minutes.
3 minutes, okay.
You're talking about the Norwegian people.
Yeah. Let me start. Okay, Joe, count us down, and I think we could stop there, and I could start with another quick question.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, counting down in 3, 2, 1.
Now, the 1920s and 30s were supposed to be the golden age of mysteries when we had writers like Agatha Christie, and I still read her too, Georgette Heyer, Dashiell Hammett. Do you think we're in a new golden age now?
I do. I think we're always in a golden age, but I think we're having some wonderful writers come on the scene. I know there are problems with publishing, but some of the people who are even self-publishing are doing great work. I think we're seeing a new beginning, and it's not just the Scandinavians. There's terrific writers out there.
Now, for people who like to discuss books, you actually have book groups or a list of book groups for mystery readers where they can meet up and discuss, and you list them by state. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I do. On mysteryreaders.org, mysteryreaders.org, I have one of the listings is readers groups everywhere. As many people as want to send them, I will post them. They're not necessarily affiliated with MRI, but I want to share. I want people to know about them. I want other writers to know about them as well, because a lot of times book groups will have a writer come in. My book group has been meeting every Tuesday night for 38 years. We read a book a week, and we're one of the oldest, I think, ongoing mystery readers groups. So it's good to know what's out there. We also host literary salons, and as I said, we could have, if a writer's on tour, like David Downing, who will be here this week, then I can let other people know where they'll be. Or I found out that Joe Finder is going to be, whose latest book, Suspicion, is out. Joe's going to be in Santa Rosa, which is in Northern California. I heard he was going to be there in June, so I wrote to the publisher, and he's going to come to our group the night before.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes,
wonderful.
And
yes.
You are invited.
I'm invited. All right. Well, I'm going to be out your area in time for BoucherCon, which I don't. Is that near you? BoucherCon is no, it's not.
I'm helping with publicity.
Okay.
It's not. It's about 500 miles away, but you could drop by.
I could drop by 500 miles. All right.
That's Southern California. But if you decide to come up to Northern California, we would love to host you. It's an intimate evening with dedicated readers. We've had everybody has come through, and I'd love you to come through.
Well, next time I'm in Northern California, I will take you up on that offer. But in the meantime, for our listeners, can you give us once again, the website for Mystery Lovers International and what it costs to join your organization?
Sure. It's mysteryreaders.org, and it's $39 a year for U.S. and $50 a year for international. And you get 4 issues of the journal and lots of other information about mystery conventions and things that are going on in the mystery community. And you might want to check out daily mysteryfanfare.com. I blog daily about awards, about lists of themes of mysteries, and anything else mystery related.
Well, thank you very much, Janet Rudolph, founder of Mystery Lovers Thank you, Janet Rudolph, founder of Mystery Readers International and editor of the Mystery Readers Journal. I'm Elaine Vietz, and you're listening to the Dead End Job Show.
And we are clear.